Assalamualaikum and good day to our lecturer, Madam Asita binti Yunus, Ahmad and everyone watching. We are from Group 7 presenting our Solam project for PPB3133 Business Laws titled Community Legal Clinic, the Chef Box for semester 2. Our group members consist of Bei Chi Ying, Lim Siu Jin, Nur Faida binti Rokanan, Cik Sanjulisi James and Nur Dalila Atika binti Nurudin. Moving on to part 1, type of business entity. The business entity chosen for this SME food business located at UPSI in the Mualim district is a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is owned and managed entirely by one individual, meaning the business and the owner are considered the exact same legal entity. Because of this, the owner has full control over all business decisions. Under Malaysian law, sole proprietorships must be registered with SSM under the Registration of Businesses Act 1956. A key characteristic of this structure is unlimited liability, where personal assets can be used to settle any business debt or obligations. In this case, the chef box is single-owned, while the owner's husband actively assists in daily operation as the main chef. Let's look at the background of our target participant. The business is owned by Mr. Muhammad Izzat bin Abu Bakar and Ms. Farah Fazila Ismail, both 42 years old. Mr. Izzat is a former chef with solid, hands-on experience in culinary preparation and customer service. Located at Gerai 7, KH UPSI Proton City in Tanjung Malim, they have been operating for over 5 years. The business was initially registered under SSM as MBI MIZ Empire in 2023 for cafe operations and was later rebranded as the Chef Box, focusing on providing affordable, fast, and quality box meals tailored for UPSI students. Operations strictly emphasize SOPs, particularly regarding hygiene, staff presentation, and proper food waste management. As a recognition of their standards, they received official Ministry of Health recognition for their My Meal menu in July 2024 and won the Cleanest Premise Award from the Roche Unit UPSI in 2025. Next, for the literacy level, Strange. The owner holds an SME certificate, adheres strictly to SOPs, and won first place in UPSI's cleanliness competition. Weaknesses: there are no formal employment contracts, with weak HR documentation and unstructured terminations. Overall, strong in daily operations, but need better financial and HR record keeping for long-term growth. Now, let's look at the state common concerns. Number 1. Food health and safety. Handling cash and food together is hygiene violation under Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. Number 2. Labor laws. Employee dismissal must follow proper procedures to avoid JTK complaints. Number 3. Competition Act 2010. High campus competition requires fair practices to avoid MyCC penalties. Number 4. Local licensing. Business license and UPSI tenancy terms must be renewed and made on time. Number 5. Supply and rental contracts. Sales drop during semester breaks, so delayed payments can cause breach of contract. Number 6. Licensing by laws. Operation must constantly follow regulations to protect the business license. Moving on to the legal knowledge gaps. Number 1. Food hygiene compliance. Limited understanding of hygiene rules where handling cash and food simultaneously risks violating the Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. Number 2. Labor law and dismissal. Lack of knowledge on fair dismissal procedures risks breaching Section 20 of the Industrial Relations Act 1967. Number 3. Competition law. Law awareness regarding unfair pricing or brand copying risks unintentionally breaching the Competition Act 2010. Number 4. Licensing and regulatory compliance. Limited knowledge on license renewals and UPSI tenancy terms could lead to penalties or contract termination. And number 5. Contract and payment obligations. Cash flow issues during semester breaks may lead to delayed payments, posing a risk of breach of contract under the Contract Act 1950.
Today, I will present the key legal issues and the legal risks of non-compliance for the chef box. Firstly, business registration and licensing. The chef box must be registered with SSM as a sole proprietorship under the Registration of Businesses Act 1956. The business must also renew its license with Majlis Daerah Tanjung Malim (DTM) and comply with the UPSI tenancy agreement to ensure it operates legally. Secondly, food handling, hygiene and safety. The chef box must comply with the Food Hygiene Regulation 2009 by maintaining a clean food preparation area and preventing contamination. In addition, all food handlers must complete the Ministry of Health's food handling course and receive a typhoid vaccination before handling food. Thirdly, tax compliance. The owner is responsible for submitting Barang B, keeping business records for at least 7 years, and complying with mandatory e-invoice requirements. If the business reaches the required annual sales threshold, it must also register for service tax or SST. The business should also comply with the Personal Data Protection Act 2010 by protecting customers' personal information and ensuring online transactions are secure. Lastly, if the chef box hires employees in the future, it must provide employment contracts and make EPF and SOCSO contributions. Now moving on the legal risk of non-compliance. Failure to register the business or renew its license may result in fines, enforcement action, or even termination of the UPSI tenancy agreement. Poor food hygiene may lead to food poisoning cases, legal action, temporary closure of the business, and serious penalties under the Food Act 1933. Failure to comply with tax obligations may result in penalties, additional charges, and cash flow problems that could affect the business operations. If customer information is not properly protected, the business may face legal claims, financial losses, and damage to its reputation under the Personal Data Protection Act 2010. Finally, failure to comply with employment laws may result in employment disputes, statutory penalties, and higher operational costs if the business expands. In conclusion, complying with these legal requirements is essential for the chef box to operate legally, protect its customers, avoid legal penalties, and achieve sustainable business growth. Thank you very much.
Part 3. Legal Clinic Design. Clinic Objective. Number 1. Identify at least 4 key legal compliance requirements, including business registration, food handling, employment, and customer data protection. Number 2. Explain at least 3 relevant Malaysian laws related to the chef box business operation. Number 3. To achieve at least 80% participant satisfaction through a post-clinic feedback survey. Activity 3. Legal checklist distribution. Number 1. Business registered with SSM. The food handler, which is owner or the employees, must have food handling training and typhoid vaccination. Business also need to comply with KKM food safety standard. The owner doesn't have employees, so they don't need to create EPF and SOCSO for their employees, but they can create for their own to pay a tax to government. Activity 5. Infographic. Legal compliance checklist. Under the Registration of Business Act 1956, all the business must register with SSM. They also need to renew their local authority license. For number 2, food hygiene and safety. All the food handler must have a food handling certificate and has typhoid vaccination. They also need to wear apron and hairnet when they are work. For the tax compliance, all the owner must submit Borang B, and they need to keep record for 7 years. They also need to pay taxes on time. Number 4, customer data protection. All the owner must protect their customer phone number, address, and other private information. For the future employment, in the future, if they want to take employees, they need to create a written employment contract. They also need to include EPF and SOCSO for their employees. Activity 6. Legal awareness survey. Based on the graph or survey that we receive from the owner, we can know that the owner become more understand about the importance of food handling, typhoid vaccination, tax compliance, and data protection of the customer. From the graph also show that the infographic we are create is more practical and friendly for their daily operation, so they are not forget about the law compliance they need to follow. From this graph also show that the owner promised to committed and harness on their employment, tax compliance, food handling, and on their employees if in the future they want to take a new employees.
For Part 4A, the specific role each member in your group play in planning and delivering the legal clinic. Our group divide the legal topic among all members to ensure that every important legal aspect relevant to the chef box was covered. Each member was responsible for researching, preparing, and explaining one specific legal topic during the legal clinic. Beijing explained the legal requirement for business registrations and licensing. I, Lim Siu Jin, explained the responsibilities relating to food hygiene and food safety under Food Hygiene Regulations 2009. Jackson present the taxation responsibilities under the Income Tax Act 1967. Nofaida explained customer data protection under the Personal Data Protection Act 2010. While No Dalila Atika explained the legal responsibilities relating to future employment compliance. By dividing the responsibilities among all members, we were able to conduct the legal clinic in a systematic manner and ensure that the participants receive complete and well-organized legal information. 4B. How your group communicate legal concept in plain and accessible language to your participant. Our group communicate the legal concept by using simple and easy to understand language such as Malay instead of complicated legal terms. Since the owner of the chef box was busy managing the business, most of our communication was carried through WhatsApp. We share the relevant acts and explain the legal requirement in a clear and organized manner. We also provide a legal compliance checklist as a practical reference. Although the owner already had basic legal knowledge and was familiar with most of the legal requirements, we reinforce the importance of continuous compliance and answer any concern that arose. This approach made the legal information accessible and relevant to the participant. 4C. Challenges encountered when explaining legal responsibilities to your participants who have no formal legal background. One of the main challenges our group faced was that the owner of the chef box was very busy managing the business. Because of this, most of our communication was conducted through WhatsApp instead of face-to-face. We shared the relevant legal acts and explaining the legal responsibilities in a simple and organized way. Since the owner already had basic legal knowledge and already complying with the legal requirements, he did not have many questions. Therefore, our role was mainly to reinforce his existing knowledge and provide a legal compliance checklist as a useful reference. 4D. why legal awareness is vital for the sustainable and ethical operation of SME in rural and semi-urban districts like Mualing. Legal awareness is important because it helps SME continue operating in accordance with Malaysians law and regulations. Although the owner of the chef box already had basic legal knowledge and following the legal requirement, it is still important to stay updated with any change in the law. Continuous legal compliance help reduce legal risk, maintain customer trust, and support the long-term sustainability of the business. Therefore, legal awareness should always be maintained, even the businesses that are already complying with the law.
Our group learned that we are gaining real-world experience by engaging with the chessbox owners and understood how business laws apply in daily SME operations. And we learned the importance of complying with business registration, food safety regulations, employment laws, and customer data protection. And we realized many SME owners have limited awareness of legal obligations and recognize that the legal compliance helps business avoid legal risks and supports long-term growth. There are many challenges in providing practical legal advice. First, simplifying complex legal terms into language that SME owners can easily understand. Second, ensuring legal advice is practical and suitable for a small family-owned business. After that, explaining the importance of laws such as the PDBA, Consumer Protection Act 1999, and so on. Then, balancing legal compliance with the business owner's operational priorities. And last, learn that effective legal advice should be clear, practical, and tailored to the business needs. The expected impact of the legal clinic include positive feedback received from the participants. Post-clinic evaluation show high participant satisfaction. Legal compliance checklist was clear and easy to understand. Improved awareness of legal obligations and business compliance. Increased confidence in complying with relevant business laws and help reduce potential legal risks and encourage better business practices. Here are some recommendations for follow-up legal awareness programs. First, to conduct quarterly legal awareness sessions, such as for every 3 to 6 months. The cover topics include food hygiene, business license renewals, tax compliance, and PPBA. Second, to develop easy-to-understand legal guides. Prepare simple infographics, checklists, and guides to help owners understand legal responsibilities and serve as a reference for new employees. Third, to conduct periodic compliance audits. Use the legal compliance checklist regularly to identify compliance weaknesses early to prevent fines, legal actions, and possible business closure.
Next, these are the supporting documents we collected during our legal clinic. First is a group photo between our group members with the owner of the chef box. Next is the SSM certificate, which show that the chef box is legally registered. Well, the food handling certificate and typhoid vaccination certificate demonstrate compliance with food safety requirement. In addition, the BEST certificate issued by the Ministry of Health Malaysia reflected the business commitments to maintaining good food hygiene and safety standards. Overall, this document indicates that the chef box complies with the relevant legal and regulatory requirements. That's all from our groups. Thank you.